I've tried about 6 times to start this, and I haven't got a clue what to do. So, we'll begin with a little disclaimer, which ironically covers most of the things that I want to talk about. Everything I want to say, it comes personally from me, one individual, one human being. I have affiliations in my life like many people do. None of those are relevant to what I'm saying to you now. This is just my personal thoughts as I'm watching what's going on around me. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. Been given advice to stay at home. Good advice. All need to do it. One of the things I've heard quite often is, Dave, it's just like the flu. It's nothing, man. People are getting over it. And even people who are actually medically qualified initially were saying, this is just going to be a thing like flu. We can cover this. There's already X amount of people died per year of flu. It's no big thing. Well, that's cool. But what if we were already maxed out with all the flu cases and the capacity that we had to cover them? And then the other people, say cancer treatment specialists, they've got their hands full dealing with all the cancer patients. Emergency doctors, they've just and so got enough to cover what they're doing. And then another thing like COVID comes in and adds to that burden. It increases at a certain rate and it gets to a certain point where a mathematician looks at the graph and he says, you're not coming back from that. What do you do then? Well, you're in trouble, and we're in trouble. The whole world is now in trouble. Where's it going to go? What's it going to do? We're all at home, alone with ourselves and our decisions and the consequences of how we just played this. What did we think we were going to do? Every time we thought, it's just another day. We can get another day out of this. Yeah, it's alright. I'll go to the pub tonight and we'll stop tomorrow. Yeah, okay. You weren't looking at the maths, you weren't heeding the advice. That added to that curve. And that curve that I'm on about is called an exponential curve. Not really relevant to what we're saying here, but it goes up and it gets steeper and it gets steeper and it gets steeper. And eventually it gets to a point where it's just heading straight for the sky. That's the point of no return. The peak that thing's going to get to with this disease alone and the stress it's now putting on the resources we have and haven't, it's unbelievable. I see every day now people wondering, what are they going to do next? Where's my wages coming from? Where's my next meal possibly coming from? I can't go to work. I can't work from home. What am I going to do? Government should have sorted that out. A lot of people are saying the government should have done a lot of things. And still, even now, we're finding people that are blaming one side of the political scheme against the other. Well, if the red team had been in charge, this would have happened. If the blue team are in charge, this is going to happen. Enough. That kind of thing. That's okay. Well, it's not okay, but that's for when the world's working and everybody's not dying, okay? Which is where we're at. Because the burdens everywhere are now catastrophic. Countries are locked down. Counties are locked down. Towns, houses are locked down. You can get your essentials, so you're not going to starve. But you can't live the life that you lived, planned for, built, and spent your life aiming towards. And you need to now consider what you're going to do next. You're in your homes. You can't venture beyond that, really. That's now your world. What you have and where you are is what you have and where you are. Now, this makes you think different things and look at different things. And one of the things it's going to do is make you look in the mirror. It makes me look in the mirror. What do you see? You see a face you can't lie to. So you ask it the questions that you can't afford to get lies back from. What did I do? What was my thought? What was my attitude? Did I do the right thing? And did I observe what was going on around me and let it happen? See, this whole thing, this disease, this COVID, it's actually a symptom. It's a symptom of a social disease, one that started a long time ago. When I was a lad in Yorkshire, as we say, I grew up in a little place, and when I was lucky enough to spend some time with my dad, who's in a picture over there, he taught me about responsibility to myself. And one of the things he taught me was, if I make a decision, it's going to affect me and somebody else around me. There's a knock-on effect. But the ultimate effect is on me. And if I knowingly make a stupid decision, a bad choice, follow a bad order, I'm as complicit, guilty, part of it, as whoever else is involved. So, looking at the current situation and the world that led up to it, we've now spent years building these amazing technological wonders. The world we live in can do unbelievable things. The science and the maths fields are going literally out into the stars. They're doing incredible studies. And sometimes they look back and they look inwards, and then they see things like hearts, lungs, brains, and they investigate inwards even more. We have x-rays and CT scans and MRIs, things that we're now desperately needing to do. And they tell us about what we're made of. They tell us about the machine, but they don't necessarily tell us about our hearts and our souls, the software, what makes us tick. That comes from us. That comes from the thoughts that we have to ourselves. You watch a movie, like a hero movie, a good action movie, and at the end of it you're all charged up and ready to go, that was awesome, that guy made a great speech, we should do that, that'd be like the perfect president, the perfect world, that guy's awesome. But then we go out into the world, and any opportunity we have, however small, to be like that, to inspire somebody like that, to teach them, to educate them, we just give it up. We don't do it. We pass the buck, the responsibility. And as the years have rolled by, that's now got to a stage where, well, we will find a tag, we will find a lawyer, we will find any way to hide from the concept of failure. No, we don't fail anymore. We just, well, you were oppressed, you were pushed to the side, you didn't get a fair bite at the cherry. Where's that put us all? Because we don't fail, we don't strive to succeed. Success sometimes comes from hardship. It always comes from a lesson and work. No work, no reward. No education, no journey. No journey, no friends, no sights, no sounds. None of it. You just want now a button that can be pressed. And when you press it, the answer comes. And that answer can be put into another box at the end of another button, completes the task, spits out the token, provides you with the next order, whatever it is you're looking for. There's no job satisfaction, there's no craftsmanship, there's no hands-on like they used to be. Teachers, right now, finally have the chance to show their true spirit, their true colours. They're all out there in tears. They don't know what to do because an entire year of work, and an entire year of students are sitting at home, unable to complete the task and the journey that they're set upon. And they don't know where to go, and they don't know what to do, and they're all looking for leadership, looking for a voice, looking for some hope. They're looking to a government that they can't trust because they've fought over it for that long. The object of the fight is now just untrustable, regardless of who's at the flag. They're looking to bosses that can't go into the office and tell them where to go. They can't go there. The kids are at home. They're crying. They can't go out and play. They can't go out and socialise, although some of them are, and that's just not cool. When they're sitting there, they're wondering to themselves, how do I get a future out of this now? How do I move on? Because all that the country and the world even can see at the moment is things ending, stopping. The doors are closing. The world is getting smaller and smaller. Well, if you take a chance and take a risk, look in the mirror, get over your little demons, tell yourself your lies, and spit them back out of the other side, and you take responsibility for yourself and your house, because your house is now your country, by the way. You are now your government. Nobody can come to help you. They're busy. They're trying to save what little they can save. You did that to them. You can't complain about that now. Okay? They're stuck. They have a limited amount of resources. Nothing's getting manufactured. Anybody that can make anything is now, I promise you, doing whatever they can. Anybody that can do anything is doing whatever they can. But what we now got to do is understand and accept that nobody's come to save us. Nobody's going to come and give us our little rule book and our safety net. They're not going to be able to take responsibility for our actions and mistakes. They're not going to be able to offer up a lawsuit or a tag or any kind of anything anymore. What you have is you and those in your home. They're your country now. So how do you want your country run? Because after years and years of passing the buck, here's your chance. Here literally is your chance. You are ruler of your own nation. Yeah? You have trade agreements now with other nations, i.e. supermarkets, etc. And you have limited transportation access across those borders now. You are now in charge of all your resources. You have to find your food, your Medicare, all of that kind of thing. Government can't give you what you need it to give you because the things you think you need are not what they're there for. They're there to provide police, to make sure we don't start doing dumb things again. Those police shouldn't have to be there. They should be on guard to make sure the next set of threats doesn't come across us. But they can't. They're still out chasing people out of parks. They're still out looking at people going shopping like nothing's happening, like it's not them. If there's anybody sitting there right now that thinks it'll pass, I got some news for you. No. Because when we all come out of this and our nation's borders are allowed to open again, it's a different world. But consider what kind of world it is for a second. Nobody's out driving cars. We're all doing what I'm doing now, sitting behind, racing simulators or playing games on Xboxes or whatever. That's how you drive a car now. And it could be like this for quite a while. They're in their gardens, actually spending time on their own properties, not stuck in offices that they don't want to be in, earning money that isn't helping them, isn't solving problems. What we're now going to do is emerge from a time where all we've done is just had what we needed, and we'll have come to love it and cherish it and appreciate it like the generations that forged us. And we'll start to go back to their teachings. The kind of thing where you'd sit on a Sunday afternoon, watch a movie with your kid, share a sandwich with them, tell daft old stories, go out in the garden, watch the world go by, because that's all you can do with it now. And when you come out of that, the air's going to be cleaner. Literally, the air will be cleaner. If you look out now and you listen, it's actually quieter. It's a bit more peaceful. It's how people even as young as me, I'm only in my 40s, early 40s, but I remember that quiet world where we all weren't there at the end of a button. And if we had to talk to each other, we had to do it face to face. And that meant being responsible for what we said and how we said it, for the actions and the thoughts that we put across, because the consequences were right there in front of us, and they could be painful. The consequence of hiding behind this new world is that now there's been such a huge buffer zone between us and our joint responsibility and the self-responsibility we shirked, that by the time it hits and it knocks on your door, it's another one of those exponential curves like COVID. And as you can see, we were already stretched to the max before this hit. We've watched it come in for months and months and months and months. Yeah, since January now, December, we knew this was coming. We all sat in our own homes waiting for the information to come in to be presented to us fairly. And this could happen, and whether you like it or not, the actual solution to the problem is shut it down, and shut it down now. But there are other concerns. Economic concerns, political concerns, work. We all got to do something during the day. We've got to have a purpose, right? Look at where that got us. Because we forgot about the initial personal responsibility, which is whatever I do, I have to make sure the effect on myself and whoever it involves is not a bad one. And if it is, it's for a good purpose later on. We don't do that anymore. Now we're sat in our homes, scared, and our enemy is invisible to our little nation. It's a bug, it's a virus. We can't see it, we don't know where it is. As soon as you know where it is, you're done. If that virus was a man with a gun, or a big bear, guarantee the reaction would have been completely different, because it's a clear and observable threat. And because we no longer have responsibility to ourselves, and we can shirk that, and we can blame anybody else except us, we can create a problem so catastrophically large that because we no longer have to worry about it, we'll just let it go and let it go and let it go. Don't have to worry about my house anymore because my town will take care of it. I can blame them, town council. And they don't have to worry about it because they can just blame the county guys. County guys don't have to worry about it because they can just blame the government. Government don't have to worry about it because there's another country that affects our state of play and we're all in this very fine balance. No, 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 no. The human race is a very complicated and specialist thing. We are all individual, unique things. Everybody's got a single thing they can do, and they've all got things they can't. And we're all scared of the things they can't, so they don't pursue the things they can, and they're not willing to fight the things they can't to achieve the things they can. Not willing to pay the price and bear the burden. Here's your burden. And it's now, because you've passed it on, literally to a species size. When we come out of this, we're going to have remembered who and what we are as people, as individuals. We're not going to need things that we cannot and should not ask of organisations, councils, governments, whatever. We're going to keep our aim a little bit closer within our grasp. Yeah, keep shooting for the stars. Keep an eye on the ground this time, yeah? In a slightly cleaner, slightly quieter world, it's a blank slate. Blank slate, yeah? It's what you wanted. It's what you asked for. So now consider to yourself, while you're at home, what can I learn and what can I do when I come out? That blank slate gets covered in a beautiful painting instead of a horrible, nasty piece of graffiti. Just my thoughts. Thanks.